Hello, I just want to discuss something that I'm pretty passionate about, to be completely honest, and it's a point that raises its head again and again, particularly when you're searching for dog trainers or behaviour modification on the internet in respect of aggression or aggressive dogs. And this term that is thrown out a lot is that a dog has been rehabilitated, or excuse the bunny ears, but rehabilitated or rehabbed in a short space of time. And I've had discussions with where I'm at odds with certain trainers with regards to this, because people believe that it is possible to rehabilitate a dog that is considered to be aggressive, to therefore make it non-aggressive. One of the biggest things that I have, one of the biggest issues that I have, is with the term rehabilitation itself, because it implies returning to a former state. And it generally as well is considered to be towards an illness or an addiction of some kind, and to end that and return the subject of that to the state prior to that becoming part and parcel of their life. So it basically talks about removing something and putting you back into a position before that was there. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that, given that aggression is part and parcel of every single organism on Earth, any animal, any member of the animal kingdom has aggression in some way, shape or form within it, whether that's the red belly of a stickleback, or whether it's the protracted throat of a lizard, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It is part and parcel of a threat display. Aggression it serves a purpose, and it serves a purpose which is the preservation of the individual or the preservation of the species, and it is a beneficial component of every animal's life, their well-being. The problem is when it becomes maladapted. Okay, so when it's something that is too intense, too frequently displayed, generalized to an abundance of triggers, or triggers unknown, idiopathic aggression, when there's no bite inhibition, if we're talking about a dog and the dog bites and it bites repeatedly and the bites are deep, and there appears to be no recognition or withdrawal, having committed bite itself to bites which would be sufficient to deter an attack, but a dog that continues to go in and in. That sort of thing would be termed to be, a pretty aggressive dog. But the thing is, to say that I can throw out a program, or anyone can throw out a program, that, hey, you come to me and I'm an awesome trainer. That's another term that's bandied around all over the place. I'm an awesome trainer and I can rehab your dog, and I can take your dog and take the aggression, and it will, your dog will go back to being this absolutely sweet and innocent little animal that you wish it was, or that once upon a time it might have been. There's a glaring misunderstanding in people who claim that to be so. And the misunderstanding is in behaviour modification and the principles of behaviour change. When I have learned something and I have repeated that thing, and it has proven beneficial for me in multiple situations which have elicited it, and I have found that by doing a certain thing, by attacking, that my threat goes away, and that I basically preserve myself, or I preserve what I consider to be under threat at that time, that's beneficial. That's going to be something that I'm going to keep in my behavioural repertoire because it works. If I do it and I do it again and I do it again, somewhere along the line that behaviour is being reinforced. It is being rewarded on one level or another because I keep doing it. Now, to say that within 3, 5, 7, 14, 21, 28, 36, I don't care how many days program, that I can take that and remove it and basically give you back an animal that no longer possesses that memory, that potential to display that aggressive response or heightened aggressive response in certain context, is a lie. And I'll say that again, to say that I can remove that, and I can say to you, I can guarantee you that your animal will no longer display that level of aggression in certain contexts which have provoked it before, reliably, for the remainder of its life, is a lie. The only thing that I can do, and that anybody can do is provide you with alternatives that suppress and replace that response in a given context. Now, given that any new learning is context specific, i.e. if I'm taught something as an animal, I'm taught something behavioural, a new behaviour, I relate it to the context in which it was taught. Now, to generalise that to a level that I can then say, okay, this new behaviour applies in every single context, cannot be done in a 3, 5, 10, 15, 30, 50 day board and train period. That is something that is up to the owner of the dog to be scrupulous in their management, to be meticulous in the way in which they control their dog. I can teach you management protocols. Anybody can teach management protocols, or anybody should be able to, who's worth their salt, should be able to teach management protocols, which can basically see your dog through situations. Okay, so it's basically like seatbelts. You know, you can go through situations and you know that you're not going to get injured, you're not going to get into a problem. Your dog isn't going to find itself aggressing because you have those safety behaviours in place. But safety behaviours suppress. Safety behaviours over a number of years perhaps begin to replace, but they will never erase. And that is a huge, huge point to grasp when you are seeking to modify repeated, rehearsed, intense, aggressive displays from an animal, is that you basically look to replace, you look to suppress what you cannot do. And I don't care who you are, how good you think you are, how many times you tell the people who watch your YouTube videos that you love them, you cannot eradicate that learned behaviour. It is wrong, it is unprofessional, it is detrimental to the potential welfare of that animal, and it is certainly detrimental if that aggression is aimed at individuals, at human beings. It is detrimental to society as a whole. And as a professional dog trainer, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to your client, you owe it to the industry, and you owe it to society at large to be honest in what you are claiming is capable of being achieved.